What up, homies? It's your boy Stev, and welcome to the bracket. Back in 2020, like most of the world, me and Ash didn't have a lot going on, so we decided to make a list of the 130 greatest movies of all time and pit them against each other, tournament style, to see which ones came out on top. We judged them against each other in 5 categories: production, writing, acting, originality, and rewatchability. Whichever movie took the most categories moved on. Don't get me wrong, it was rarely unanimous between us, but it was always a lot of fun. Just a heads up, we did record these a few years ago, so if the timeline feels a bit weird, that's why. If you want to check out the list of the 130 movies, I'll put a link to our website in the description below. So without further ado, let's all go back to the land of 2020, where all we did was sit at home, drink excessively, and watch flicks. Enjoy.
Who you gonna call? Not the kids from Stand By Me, that's for sure. Those kids are not who you call if you need somebody to help you.
You don't want 12-year-olds?
Except for the one kid. River Phoenix, he's the shit. I'll go fuck.
Yeah, well, actually, funny, I was going to say Will Wheaton, because, I mean...
First of all, yeah.
He grows up pretty badass, okay?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know, though. Like, of all the Star Trek characters, Wesley Crusher is not exactly the one I would call if I
He's
needed.
the only one I know from Star Trek. I haven't even seen
And you
Star
only know
Trek.
that because of fucking The Big Bang
The
Theory.
Big Bang Theory. The only reason I know. You know what's so funny is I didn't even know who the kids were. It was my boyfriend, walked in and he goes, "Oh, Stand By Me." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, River Phoenix." And, Will Wheaton. He's like, "You're watching the movie. You didn't know."
Yeah, and it's funny because Jerry O'Connell plays the chubby kid, and now he's fucking ripped, and he's married to Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Okay, so what I find really, really funny about him, I really hope it's him, is one of them does so much voice acting, and I found this really, really comical. I'm trying to think of who it was. And he plays Superman and Batman on television series, and I find that really entertaining.
What? Who is it?
I think it's O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell?
One of them is like a voice actor. That's what he does. And he's on TV shows. But he does both voices, and I found that really funny.
I can see it. He strikes me as a fucking, a Superman type.
Well, Dylan was why are you so fascinated by that? I'm like, because he always has a sexy-ass voice. I want to hear what he sounds like.
So he's
you
married...
voice Superman? You're pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. He's actually married to Mystique from the original X-Men movies. Yeah. So, he's crushing it these days. Yeah, it's actually funny.
Yeah, he's doing just fine.
Yeah, it's actually funny. Of all the things that he does, my favorite thing, I listen to this podcast that's hosted by Justin Long.
Okay, I know Justin Long is.
Yeah.
He's the, the cheerleading. Isn't that him, the cheerleading?
Oh, from Dodgeball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that him, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's him, yeah. So he has his own podcast. And him and Jerry O'Connell are apparently good friends. And every now and again, Jerry O'Connell will just call him in the middle of a podcast, and he'll just answer it. And he's fucking hilarious. Just like him in, real life. I couldn't even tell you something. The one he called, and he's just and Justin Long's fucking Jerry O'Connell's calling me. Okay, give me a second. I gotta answer. "Hey, Jerry, what's up?" He'll put him on speaker. He's like, "Hey, man, what song does this sound like?" And he'll bust out a saxophone and just start playing, but awfully. And what? And he's like, I'm learning to play saxophone. What is this? What song is this? And it's just but stuff like that. It's hilarious. So that's all I thought of while watching this movie is Vern from fucking Stand By Me.
Well, I knew he had a good personality because he was on a couple episodes of Drunk History.
Oh yeah, I can see that too. That makes sense.
Yeah, so whenever I hear actors on Drunk History,
they're cool.
If you don't know what it is, you gotta just watch it. I'm not gonna give you any hints what it's about. It's amazing. It's on YouTube. But yeah, once I heard that, I went, "Oh, okay, he's a cool fucking guy."
Yeah.
He has to be if you're on Drunk History.
But really, I mean, the entire crew is pretty cool. Like you said, Will Wheaton is awesome. He's on Big Bang Theory.
River Phoenix was pretty big for the time.
River Phoenix was going to be the biggest actor in fucking history. And unfortunately, he died of a drug overdose. I'm not mistaken, actually. But there's another movie that's actually on our list that he's in, and it's one of the last movies that he ever did, and it's one of those things where like when you watch it, you're like, oh, this guy was gonna be spectacular. Like this guy's gonna be huge.
Really?
Yeah. Like so, we'll talk about it more when we get to that movie. But yeah, it's just him. Even as a kid, it's like this kid's got so much charisma. Like yeah, like he's one of those kids where it's like no matter what situation, that's the type of person I want on my side. Do you know what I mean? Like whether it's a fight, whether it's like we're gonna fucking walk for a couple of days, like you know what I mean? Even, and I love the idea that like, oh, that's spoilers, so we'll get into that later. But no, I like yeah. So
this was my first time seeing Stand By Me.
Okay.
So I definitely found it very low and slow and very like I should have seen it at the age where I was supposed to see it.
Definitely. You're supposed to definitely see this movie when you're 12. No, that's not true, though.
No, not that young.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the movie that's super interesting is, do kids even act like this anymore?
No.
Because I remember I was like this when I was 12. We were all definitely the like, hey, there's an abandoned warehouse downtown. Why don't we go fucking break into it and like, you know, do stupid shit? Like, that was something that we did when I was 12. Do people still do that? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, but we have someone in our family that's 12, and they're not like that at all.
That's a good point. I don't think she leaves the house ever, does she?
No, neither does my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is 12.
Yeah.
He's literally the exact same person as her. They both just sit at home on their Nintendo Switches.
Yeah.
They might go to the park, and that's it.
And that's the thing, don't get me wrong, I played a shitload of video games when I was a kid, but I was still
no, not like because I was the same way as you.
Yeah.
I was very like sleepovers and like forests and let's go drink in the gorge or something. I was like that too. And yeah, and they don't do that anymore.
It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't know, like even that whole idea of like, all right, you're gonna tell your mom that you're here, and we're like, you know what I mean? We're gonna go like camp out, like that.
That's the only good thing about divorced parents.
It is
always,
true.
always. I am over here, and you're gonna tell them you're over here, and it's gonna be great.
You were definitely at the right age for that divorce.
Yeah, I guess.
Another thing that's super interesting about Stand By Me, throwing it out there, based off a Stephen King story.
Which I did not know.
Our third Stephen King story, and it's funny because it's so we did Shawshank earlier and Green Mile.
And it's in the same book.
But it's like the only three things he's done that aren't horror stories. Well, like, it's very funny that we're okay with Stephen King adaptations as long as it's not a horror fucking movie, okay? We don't. But yeah,
I didn't even think of that. They aren't horror movies.
Right? So this was in a collection of short stories by Stephen King.
Yeah.
It was called
the
book was The Body. It was called Different Seasons, and every story represented one of the four seasons. There's only four of them. So it was summer was this, The Body. Spring was The Shawshank Redemption. I'm not sure how that pertains to spring, but whatever. Fall was Apt Pupil. It's about a kid who realizes that like his neighbor used to like run a Nazi concentration camp.
Oh Jesus!
But like he like changed his identity. But it's like so this guy ends up becoming like his like mentor, and it's pretty messed up. And then there's all three of these have been made into movies: Shawshank Redemption, Apt Pupil, and Stand By Me. And then there was a fourth story called The Breathing Method. Super interesting story about this. Just super, super basic. It's about a woman who's pregnant, and while she's giving birth, like on her way to the hospital, she ends up getting her head cut off in a car accident. But her body is like still giving birth, and her head is still talking, and it's like fucking down the street. It's really weird, but it's like about like she will do anything to like give birth to this kid. So like in her lap, it's weird. It's fucking weird, but
so there's a Stephen King.
That's a Stephen King story.
That story is Stephen King. The other three is like
they're very like even Apt Pupil, but Apt Pupil is almost too realistic. Like it's a horror story that's very fucking like it could happen. Like somebody mentoring somebody to.
So there is a TV show released on Netflix that's about a concentration camp officer who's killed millions or whatever of Jews or whatever, and they just found out who they are now because they changed their identity. And the man's like 80, and these people are trying to put him in prison. So what you're talking about is actually physically happening in a documentary
Well, that's
on Netflix last year.
I mean, even at the end of *Inglourious Bastards*, there's a character, not to spoil anything, but there's a particular character who makes a deal that's like, I will fucking give you everything, but I want like a cozy house on an island in the United States with a new name and everything. That shit probably happened in World War II, right? So,
but yeah,
but either
anyways,
way, back to Stand By Me.
Yeah, sorry, we got a little off topic. I do think that now that I watched it, I was older, because you can see like, my boyfriend was very like excited for me to watch it, right? Because he was like, "Oh my god, we're gonna, you know, I've seen it 100 times, blah blah blah," and I watched it, and I was just so like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you know. But it's because I saw it 10 years, 15 years after
Yeah.
I should have.
You're almost at the, so we're in our 30s. We're almost
I
at the
took it
age
too seriously.
where we should like, it's almost like we're the parents in this situation who
That's
are
what,
like,
no, that's just
what the fuck are these kids? Yeah,
like, because the movie is about like them finding a dead body. That's what it's about, and like trying to find like this whatever. And me as an adult, I was like, oh my god, why would they, like, why would
It's
you?
so
and
strange.
It's me as an adult, and I'm like, oh my god, why would, that's someone's kid, you know? And that really, like, it affected me in a whole different way.
100%. And it's very funny how much the parents are so like, okay, like it's almost like they're not really paying attention, right?
Even the kids said, like, oh, I've been gone for 2 days. And I'm like, you've been gone for what?
That's crazy.
2 fucking days.
But even like the idea too that like all of the kids, not just the 4, but like the other group are like, we're gonna find this body and be famous. It's like, why is that like a
There's
thing?
3 groups of people at once, and I'm like, what are you? What? Are you okay? Do you need a therapist?
Yeah. The 50s in this town must have been boring as fuck. Like, that's the only thing.
Well, no,
we're
he
gonna
says
find
that.
a dead body and we're gonna be famous.
Yes, he
Like,
says that.
okay.
He says it's like 1,000 population in his town.
Yeah. And Castle Rock, it's very funny. A lot of Stephen King stories take place in one of 3 towns, and one of them is Castle Rock. So that's kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, there's a show that just came out. It came out a couple years ago, but it's called Castle Rock. And it's like an amalgamation of a bunch of Stephen King stories.
All I hear is Castle Rock, and that's all I got from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. That too.
That's all I think of is Castle Rock.
But actually, it's actually funny. They switched it, though, because a lot of most Stephen King stories take place in Maine.
Okay.
So Castle Rock, Maine, Jerusalem's Lot, Maine, and Derry, Maine. Those are like the 3. It's in one of the books. It's kind of explained that like the reason why so much weird shit happens in these 3 towns is because they're like a triangle on like a map, and in the center is a literal pit to hell. So like all of these monsters and like supernatural things get out, and that's kind of the way it's explained. Like,
I don't
the
know
Tower.
Geography whatsoever. Is Maine in the center of the United States?
No, it's more.
So there's
It's
literally
like top
no
right.
reason.
It's like top right.
So there's literally
It's where
no
he.
reason.
It's where he grew up. It's where he like grew up as a kid.
Yeah,
That's
but why would there be a pit of hell?
Oh, there's no. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
it's one of those things. But it's actually funny. So, but this movie takes place in Castle Rock, Oregon,
Yeah.
and the only reason why is because in the short story it says it's just a throwaway line that Portland is nearby, and the writer of the movie, one of the writers at least, mistook that for Portland, Oregon. So he's like, oh, well, it must take place in Oregon then. But it's not. It turns out there's another Portland that's near Maine. It's just
There's
one of those.
a lot of those.
Yeah.
Like there's an Ontario, California,
Oh yeah,
stuff like
Paris. There's a Paris, Ontario, isn't there?
that. Yeah.
Stuff like that,
London,
yeah.
Ontario. Is there a Paris, Ontario?
There's a Paris, Ontario. Yeah.
Oh, I know London, Ontario. Yeah, it's just like something. I know there's a lot of like our provinces or our cities are in states, and I keep getting confused by that.
100%, right? So, it's
That's a fun fact.
I mean, that's like a running joke on The Simpsons. Like, there are so many Springfields
Right.
that nobody will ever know where Simpsons takes place, right? Because it's like
Do
one
we
of those
know
things.
where?
No. There's like one scene where they hang up a map of the United States. It's like, hey, look, this is where we live. And as they're pointing to it, one of the kids like gets in front of the camera. Like they like put their head.
Come on,
and
nobody stopped and frame by frame to that
But
scene.
it's one of those things where it's like a joke that like nobody Well, no, right?
Yeah, but nobody frame to frame that and actually found out what she was pointing to.
Oh, I don't know.
Or did she not yet point?
I don't think she pointed
to
to it yet. She was just going to, and then somebody put their head.
Because the
in
world
it.
would have
Oh yeah, no, we would know by
for sure, like every millisecond, just played it by millisecond. Okay, people got no time there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Another funny thing about Stand By Me, actually throwing it out there, another Rob Reiner movie. This is the third one, I think, in 3 weeks that we've, in like the last at least 5 weeks we've done. We did This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
We did When Harry Met Sally, and then we did this. And it's funny, I did not know Rob Reiner directed any of those movies.
They're all so fucking different.
Yeah. I'm starting to think Rob Reiner might be my favorite director.
Quentin, we're just kidding. We're just kidding. We're just kidding.
Sorry, Tarantino.
We're just kidding, Tarantino. We're just kidding. Don't cancel us. Don't cancel us. No, don't say that. That was so
strange though, right? It's like I would never it's just
they're so because most especially Quentin Tarantino, they have like their little.
You could tell.
Their touch on them.
We did 2 Wes Anderson movies, Rushmore and The Great Budapest Hotel, and you could tell.
You can totally tell. It's the same like comical release kind of. But those 3 are so different.
It's strange. And then there's Ghostbusters.
Yes.
I love fucking Ghostbusters. I've seen that movie 100 times. I'm a big fan. This is your first time.
This is my first time.
What did you think of Ghostbusters? I'm so excited to hear. It's very rare that somebody hasn't seen Ghostbusters before, so I'm fucking excited to hear what you think. What do you got?
So this is how people felt with me with Rocky Horror Picture Show, and they all ran to me at work, and they were like, "Oh my god, what you think?" Because they've never met anybody who hasn't.
Yeah.
I could not get past the most horrible graphics of all time. When
80s.
those dogs were running, it was killing, like literally killing me. It was okay. I don't know if I want to rewatch it tomorrow, but it was okay.
It's so fun though, right?
It's okay. You laughed more than I did. You found it much more enjoyable than I did. And there are like quotes, like the Ray one. You know what the quote is more than I do.
Oh, Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you
say
yes.
Yeah. So I know that from How I Met Your Mother, and I didn't know that's what it was from. So, like I know who the Stay Puft Marshmallow. I mean, that.
I literally went out as a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for Halloween last year.
Yeah, you did.
Like, that's how much I like the Stay Puft Marshmallow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The group is so great. It's a great foursome. Which is kind of why. Okay, so to really get down to it, it's kind of why I put these movies together. I think it's 2 really good 4 characters. So, you know what I mean? It's like.
Well, I was trying to figure out why you would put them together. I thought they were good because they were around the same year.
But
that's
and
it.
They are
They're
kind
like
of
2 years apart.
Yeah, they are kind of around the same time, right? But it's like I like the idea of just 4 friends who are like, you know what I mean? And it's like them going on an adventure kind of thing. They are pretty different though, in retrospect. But at the time when I was putting the movies together, I liked the idea of like 2 groups of 4. What do we got? So
it was fine. Like it was, I don't know. Like I will watch it again, but not like tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's definitely not my favorite. It's okay.
You definitely couldn't get over the fact that the villain looked like Mitchell from Modern Family.
That's so true. I keep saying that over and over.
It's like if they're making a remake tomorrow, that's the fucking
guy. Mitchell from Modern. Jesse Ferguson, sign him up now, please. Yes, it's just he's so sassy. He's sassy and ginger, and that was it for me. And he wears tuxes. That's fucking Mitchell.
He looks exactly.
If that's not Mitchell, then I don't know.
And I can kind of see Mitchell being really uptight about ghosts.
Yeah, literally, he's always in a tux and he's always uptight. He's the exact same person. But yeah, and he's a lawyer. Isn't this guy a lawyer? Come on. What does this guy do?
I don't actually know. I know he works for the environment. That's all I
thought he was a lawyer.
But I think he is a lawyer, though, for the for the environmental something.
And Mitchell is an environmental lawyer.
Well, this is just, they must have modeled this character off of him.
Something is wrong. No, that must not be his career in Ghostbusters. But oh my god, if it is, that's so funny. Mitchell is an environmental lawyer, by the way. Okay, so I'm just saying it's working.
All right, do you want to throw some points down? Do you want me to do it first? Do you want to go first?
I always go first. So
you want me to go? Okay.
Not ladies, go first. Please be my guest. Be my guest. Be my guest. I don't know the song.
Isn't it made of real gorilla chest? Is that it? I don't think that's right.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
No, be our guest. Be our
no,
guest.
that's the scene when Gaston pulls his chest out. Oh, fuck, I don't
I don't
actually...
even know what the
Shows
fuck
how
you're
much I know
talking
about...
Go ahead,
this
do your
movie.
point. Sorry.
All right. Okay, so let's just throw her out there. I gotta give Stand By Me acting. I just got to. It's
Okay.
spectacularly acted, especially for children. Like a kid actors, all the kid actors. Actually, we didn't even talk about Kiefer Sutherland, who's fucking amazing. You know, this fucking awesome Canadian actor. Can't go wrong, right? So, acting's awesome. That's the guy who plays Ace. No Ace. Just you.
Yeah, that sparked back my memory.
Oh, yeah, that fucking guy.
yeah, that guy. Yeah. No Ace. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
All right, acting.
So, acting, I gotta give to Stand By Me. But originality, I gotta give to Ghostbusters.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Originality, I gotta give to Ghostbusters because there's a lot of movies that are like Stand By Me. Like a lot of coming of age tales, right?
Right.
They're not all trying to find a dead body. That's kind of fucking interesting. But
Not all kids need therapy, okay?
and that's the thing. Like, and even though there's a lot of movies like this, it's a very well written version of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if this is a Caesar salad, this is a fucking really good Caesar salad. You know what I mean? This is a Caesar salad that's worth
This is a
going back to the next
premium.
one. Yeah.
Bruce Christie's a salad.
This got like the shaved Parmesan on there.
Dude, I love shaved Parmesan.
Actual bacon, you know.
Love shaved Parmesan on Caesar.
Oh, it's so bougie.
Dude.
When like somebody tries to bust out like the
Yeah, the
cheese
grater?
grater, you're like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. Like,
No, you know, whenever you know you got a bougie Caesars when the Caesar dressing is yellow because you know they made it there.
yeah.
That type of Caesar.
Throw some cracked pepper up on there. Boom, top Caesar with the bacon bits.
Real bacon bit.
So yeah, Stand By Me is the Caesar salad of a really good Caesar salad. Anyway, so it's even though it's a really good version of that story, I got to give Ghostbusters originality. So unfortunately, too, I kind of got to give Ghostbusters rewatchability as well.
Okay.
I think you would agree that it's a very slow movie.
It's so.
But although you also did say that you wouldn't watch Ghostbusters tomorrow, so I don't know if that was up in the air.
But pause there though, because I did ask him at one point in Ghostbusters, how much longer do we have left?
And that's a good point.
I felt like Ghostbusters dragged. There was like a half an hour there where they could have just got the fuck out of it.
It's true.
But they needed story, and it just kept going. Also, I knew the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was coming.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how long is they fighting him for?
Yeah.
And so everything was just kind of... Anyways.
It's true.
So they're both long, dry movies for me.
And then I'll give production to Stand By Me. I might have actually given it to Ghostbusters because I think it looks fun. But the entire time we're watching this movie, all you did was shit on the effects. The entire movie. So I so second guessed myself. I'm like, oh, maybe
You know
production's
what, though?
better.
Be fair, I grew up on Avatar. That movie to
Yeah.
me was just like world like turned for me.
It's true. Whereas I fucking love 90s movies. And
Right.
this kind of reminds me of just shitty 90s
They
movies.
know from fucking one of the second episodes, I fucking hate old movies. I hate old movies.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I went, oh no, look at these fucking graphics. It's horrible.
So I'm gonna give it 2 to 3 for Ghostbusters.
2 to 3 for Ghostbusters. All right. Acting, I actually chose Stand By Me.
Yeah, so did I.
So you were right.
Yeah.
I definitely think there was a lot more emotion. I had more of a chance to get emotional and feeling with them
Definitely.
than I did with. I didn't cry during the movie or anything, but I did feel it more than this. Production, to me, you said Stand By Me, which I find funny because they were in the woods. The whole fucking movie.
Which is why I wanted to give it to Ghostbusters so bad. But I ended up giving it to... Yeah, but you're right, the effects are not very good.
There's no effects. The most effects they had.
But the production, I mean, you got to give it to them, right? First of all, okay, actually, let's really get into this. Okay. Reason if I was going to give them production, so maybe a year before this movie came out, there's a movie called The Twilight Zone, the movie. You know, it's like The Twilight Zone, the show, but it's like a movie version, right? And there's this scene in the movie in which this guy, it takes place during like the bombing of during the Vietnam War. There's like this Vietnamese village, there's a bombing going on, and there's this actor played by Vic Morrow who's trying to get these two Vietnamese kids out of like this village while this bomb's going on. So he's like got the kids, and he's like running towards this helicopter. And in real life, not in the movie, a stunt explosion fucked up the rear propeller, and the helicopter tilted and chopped all three of their heads off.
This is real?
Real story, yeah. So, that happened a year before this movie was in production. So, because of that, this movie ended up getting... and because two of the actors who got their heads cut off were children, working with children became really, really difficult. Like, as soon as that happened, they put a lot... Yeah.
Shit.
So they put a lot of pressure on people working with children. I'm assuming and even today, right? But like that's kind of when it really started.
Oh my god, how horrible.
Yeah. So a lot of the shit that they do in this movie, they couldn't fucking do with kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the train scene for obvious reasons. With them fucking, I'm trying to think of other things, but like.
There was the one part when the kid's like running away from a dog in the junkyard.
Stuff like that. Like there's a lot of stuff. So like what they had to use was they had to use small female stunt doubles with like cropped hair and shit, right? So like I think you could give it to production just for that. The fact that they had to work with kids, you can only work with kids for like a couple of hours a day. Like you're not allowed to work them more than, X amount of hours, right? Whereas fucking adults work for 14 hours a day. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. I think I don't know.
I completely understand, and I'm almost tilted. I'm still going to keep it.
But you shit on the production of that movie so much.
The sets they had to make.
It's true.
They had to destroy buildings, do buildings on fire. They had to do so many explosions. I will give it to Ghostbusters deserves it.
Yeah.
The graphics, but I will say it to the graphics fucking suck, okay? But I will give it to them. Okay? Writing, definitely Ghostbusters.
Really?
It's better than fucking kids walking through the forest. Okay. Alright, just saying. It's like the fucking Lord of the Rings, alright? Originality, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Because, whatever. And rewatchability is obviously going to be Ghostbusters, so.
Like, so how many points did we get?
4
for 5.
I gave acting to stand by me.
So...
They deserved it, man. There were some times when I was like, ooh, they look like they actually got affected. Like, these kids were great at acting.
I don't think this is a spoiler, but I gotta throw it out there. The scene where the kid has, like, the leech on his testicles. Was that not the weirdest, like everybody's like, and then he, like, so slowly pulls it out. It's like, I was like, oh blood, my god. Like,
I know what honestly, I believe as actors, they did phenomenal.
They did good, yeah.
So, we both are on the same track, so Ghostbusters won. On both of ours.
Definitely.
So, Stand By Me, though, wasn't.
It's a fucking great movie. Like, it's a great movie. It's a great Stephen King adaptation. Because I read the short story before, and it's fantastic. Like, and it's a great adaptation of it. So it's like, I don't know. Everybody's good in it. I don't know. I can't think of a single weak link. Maybe like Gordy's dad is kind of awful, but like he's supposed to be the biggest piece of shit in the world.
He's supposed to be awful.
John Cusack is awesome as the brother. Like, I don't know. Although I gotta throw it out there, fucking Ace steals his brother's hat, and they give that shit up real quick. Like, is it just me?
No, they did.
Yeah, John Cusack puts it. So John Cusack gives him the hat, and then he passes away. And then they're like walking down the street, and Kiefer Sutherland just kind of steals the hat, and then it's never brought up again.
Yeah,
you'd think that would be something that would be brought up again.
That was like in the beginning.
Yeah, because that's a serious fucking thing. It's his brother's hat. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Apparently, I can't.
Well, because he said at the very end, he's like, I didn't even cry at his funeral.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
maybe he wasn't really that connected to his brother very much.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. I mean, it's not.
No. Doesn't matter. You know why?
Because now we're in
spoilers.
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 Nice. Nice. Loved it.
So, Is it just me, or maybe I assumed the song was coming. All I wanted to hear was the song "Stand by Me" while
me
watching
too.
the whole movie. And if you notice
They played the chords in the very beginning.
yeah, they actually do it throughout the movie.
Yeah.
You can hear it, and all just fucking play the song.
I know. Well, that's the only thing I knew was "Stand by Me."
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, and I'm a musician, so I heard like the chords, and I went, "Oh, there it is," and then maybe not. Okay, no,
it was driving me
no.
crazy.
Yeah, they kept pulling me in and pulling me back out. Yeah. Something I found really funny was the one part where they're like running on the tracks away from the train,
Yeah.
right? By the way, if they just ran instead of they pussy walked across that train track, they would have been. The train track was like 0.5
wasn't
of a
that far.
kilometer. Okay, you could have just ran it. But anyways, apparently the director wasn't feeling scared, and he like screamed at those poor kids,
No.
and that's why they're so like terrified, because he never heard them scream. They've never heard him scream before.
Yeah.
And he just screamed and then filmed. Then it was them running from the camera, and you can see they're all like all uncomfortable. Yeah. The movie was okay. I mean, so I definitely did not think we would actually see a dead body.
Okay.
They didn't really react the way that I wanted them to.
Here's the thing. I've seen this movie before. I haven't seen it in a while, mind you, but I still have seen it before. But I couldn't remember what the body looked like. Like in my brain, I don't actually remember them ever even finding the body. Like I remember them finding the body because that's where the final confrontation happens. But I don't remember them ever seeing his face.
Which they showed it for
Which they did,
a couple of times.
So when I saw this time, I was like, oh wow, like I don't remember this. But I just feel like that face would be fucking way worse. Like I almost think it would have been more interesting if that it was like the grossest thing you've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? Because you'd expect
it was only there for 2 days.
Is that because no? They were like looking for the kid for more than that, weren't they?
I thought the beginning of the movie was, oh, I killed a kid. Like I thought it happened like that day. Oh, I didn't think of this for the podcast. We gotta Google it again.
Okay. No. So they didn't kill the kid. They found the body. Okay. So in the beginning of the movie, they do like a news report that the kid's been missing for a couple of days at this point, and then the brother. I think they're both actually, one's Vern's brother, one's I could be wrong on that one, but anyway, they find the body, but accidentally because they stole that car. So that was like day, we'll say 3 or so, and then they walk for like 2 days. So there's
it would have been worse.
Solid 5 days, and this kid's sitting on the side of the river, like just moisture and like insects and shit. Like, I feel like it'd be worse, but that's just me. I don't know.
It would be worse.
I expected. So when they showed the face, I actually like.
Me too. I winced.
And it's very fucking weird that both parties are fighting over this body. And I like the idea that they end up getting Ace at the end. He pulls the gun on him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you going to take us all out? He's like, no, man, just you. I always love that mentality. It's like, no, you guys are going to beat the fuck out of me, but I'm going to get you first. And that's all I care about.
Right.
I like that. And I kind of like the fact that none of them, they just decide, like, this is way weirder than we thought it was going to be. Like, let's just call it, let's send this in honestly and then, like, go home. Like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, I thought they would definitely react a little more.
Mm-hmm.
They just literally walked up and they looked like they found a dead cat. And they were like, all right,
oh, that's fucking weird.
let's go get... And then they were like, let's go get small branches to make a stretcher.
Yeah, what are you going to
What
carry
are they
it
going to
home?
do? Carry
Like,
it? For a day?
you guys are like 10 pounds wet. Like, they're not going to fucking carry that shit. You can barely walk it. Like,
So what really confused me that I'm trying to figure out the timeline. Because it took them so long to find it, it's because they followed the train tracks. But it took them shorter to get home.
it's because they didn't stop. They just walked through the night.
I don't think they did.
They say it, right? They're like, we just kept walking through the night, and then they ended up getting home at 5 in the morning.
I thought he meant we got home at 5 p.m. that day.
No, I thought it was 5 in the morning.
So I thought...
It makes more sense to me that it's 5 in the morning.
So they left Friday, let's say at 5 p.m. They got there Saturday
Sunday.
around like...
And then they got home
No.
on Monday, which was Labor Day, they said.
Yeah, I'm confused by the timeline. You confused me again.
Sorry. I know for a fact they got home on... It doesn't fucking matter. We're talking about
No,
things
you're
that-
right about Monday.
Yeah.
But I thought, sorry, because I'm thinking like, you're not going to carry a body for 2 days.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then I was like, wait though, if they are getting home in like 13 hours, it's only because they followed the train tracks.
Yeah.
Then they might be able to carry a body. No, they won't, but they have more of a chance in 13 hours.
They wouldn't have carried that body home. They would have just called the police. Brought to the nearest place, called the police. That's
How
the
are you
only
going to walk on the fucking road with a dead body on a stretcher? You can't.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you going to do? You have no phone.
Yeah. Off topic. You know, the one thing that actually, in all honesty, the one thing I didn't like about this movie? The narrator.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And here's the thing. Richard Dreyfuss is a fucking really good actor. I've
The
seen...
fucking computer sucked. He needs a new one.
Oh, well, yeah. Anytime you see a computer that's like a black screen with green lettering.
With
you're
green
like,
lettering.
It was funny because my old job, we still had computers like that. And I was
Oh
like, it's
my
the fucking
God.
new millennium, man.
Kill me.
This
No.
wasn't good 20 years ago.
No.
But that's the thing. I don't know. I really, really did not like his narration. It bugged me. Like,
Oh.
I don't know. And here's the thing. Apparently, he was like the third choice. Like,
Yeah.
they had another guy actually film scenes, and then they decided they didn't like it. They got another guy and then him. Like, it's just one of those things. Excuse me, sorry. It's just one of those things where it's like, what were you going for? Is that what you wanted? Was like that like super like monotone narration? Like,
It didn't bother me.
oh, it drove me crazy. The only thing, like, I'm of the opinion that if you're gonna narrate a movie, it's gotta be like, you know, when somebody's telling a story and you're like super into it because of the way the person's telling it. That's the way a narrator has to be. A narrator, like, here's the thing. It's like, and there are some times where like monotone narrators are great. Like, I think Edward Norton in Fight Club is one of my favorite narrators, and he's super monotone. Like, he's super, but he's also
I
super.
never really thought of him as monotone. He is really monotone.
He's very monotone, but he's also very dark and blunt. And
Wasn't
like,
he was there a narrator in American History X?
no,
No, maybe not.
no. There's like at the very end,
But it's not him.
Edward
It's-
Furlong.
Yeah.
No. Like, I mean, I think if I had to pick the best narrator of all time, I think fucking Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange is
That was good.
spectacular.
See, but if you want to go about dry narrators, to me is of all the fucking names I forget. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, you're talking about Morgan Freeman?
Yes, he has the driest.
But he's got charisma or
No,
something.
he is the most driest narrator, but yet everybody wants Morgan Freeman. You know, so like really, like sometimes that works.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, something about him. It's just the way he was narrating.
Oh, it didn't bother me at all.
I really like him in movies. I think he's spectacular in Jaws. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's amazing. But something about his narration in this movie drove me fucking crazy. I don't know why. And his fucking kids are assholes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting way to end the movie too. The whole like that was the last time they all really saw each other. Like they were all together. Like the one kid ended up getting married and became a forklift driver. The one
kid died from an overdose.
No, the one kid. No, he was like in and out of prison because he couldn't get into the army because of his ear. And then the one kid ended up getting. So they ended up taking classes together, and then he ended up getting stabbed in a fucking restaurant.
That's what it is. It is his ear and his eyesight. by the way.
Yeah.
We were talking about that Little Miss Sunshine. Something you can't control is holding you back from what you want to do.
You'd think the army would be just happy to have people.
I agree with that. I agree.
Like, and I get it. Like, it's kind of like the old Spartan shield. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, Spartans, like, you have to fucking be able to protect the person to your left or your right. And I guess I can understand
And
that.
Unsullied, you have to be professional in
Yeah.
a sword, a spear, a shield, and something else.
Sure. But it's just one of those things where you think, like, I don't know, they let fucking super overweight people into the military. Like,
You know what's crazy? My buddy is a Canadian military, and he had to actually, like, go on this hunting thing, and he had his tent, and he had to survive in the wilderness on like a mountain for like a month.
Yeah.
In order to get like a certain badge you need for the Canadian military. And again, you're like, do you know how to shoot a gun? Yeah, cool, you're in. But no, like they're fucking serious.
I know a guy who works as a firefighter, but for like wildfires. Like
well, that's a little different.
It's true, but he like used to do this. He doesn't do it anymore. But like, so like, his whole job was like, it's like, he worked in the States, right? And there are particular states where like every year inevitably there's going to be a wildfire. Like California is one of them, Florida is one of them. It's just like one of those things. So his job was to go to these places before that happens naturally and start fires, but it's controlled fires. That's what they do, right? And he would tell me some of the stories, but like, apparently every month you have to run this fucking, it's like a mile and you got to run it in like, I can't remember how long. It's like,
see, why?
Because you have to prove that you can do it. Like if there's an emergency, you have to prove that you have to run like, I think it's like a mile in under like 20 minutes, but you have like a shitload of weight on you.
That's hard.
And it's a hike. It's not like a straight road.
And I'm a runner.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I don't actually, it's probably more than that. I'm probably not telling you right. But anyway, but he used to say like that was the shittiest thing was you have to stay just fit enough to where you could do that every month and prove that you could do it, right? But
so I have a buddy that can run 5K in like 21 minutes. But that's like something that's unheard of. It's not unheard of, excuse me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
From people that are not runners.
See,
why though? Why do you like emergency from what?
Because you have to be able to lift. For this guy, he has to. So the way they don't have like fire trucks because you're in the middle of like a forest, so you have to pump water from like lakes and you
have to run back to the fire.
Yeah, so you have to run from the fire to the place and like set up a fucking rig so it like pumps water.
See, my buddy doesn't have to.
No,
he doesn't have to hike. He doesn't have to camp. He doesn't have to do any of that shit. They just wanted to make sure he could, and he can. But yeah,
But yeah, poor kid can't fucking get into the army. That's all he wants. And that's even as like a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? Like with the fucking gimpy ear. Like that's all he wants is to get into the army and he can't do it. That's so shitty. So of course he ends up in and out of jail. And then and of course Vern, like Jerry O'Connell, ends up just marrying some girl, you know what I mean? Very average life. And then the other guy becomes a lawyer.
What was up with that blueberry pie story?
I don't know, actually.
It was the weirdest placed story. And then I thought, oh, this is here for a reason. And then
I was trying to figure that out too, actually. The funny thing about that is I also have no idea why it's there because I thought the exact same thing. But in a weird way, I was excited they showed it. Like, because if you would have just told the story, I could see why the kids were like, and then what happens?
Yeah.
You know, I can see them, oh yeah, that's a great story, Gordy. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought it was just fine. The kids are just assholes.
yeah, it's true. No, I actually like, and actually, like, seeing the story, I fully understand it. Like, fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, calling them lard ass and stuff. Like, fuck them.
It's so mean. And I was saying, like, you would not get away with that now.
Oh, God,
anybody
no.
made fun of anybody on stage, you get kicked out, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, can we talk about Ghostbusters?
Let's fucking talk about
Stand by Me
Ghostbusters.
sucks.
Here's the thing. Actually, I want to throw Stand By Me some love. It's a great movie. I'm happy
it
it's on the
doesn't
list.
suck. I have seen
Some shitty ass
a
movies,
lot
yeah.
worse on this list so far. Okay.
Hey, like,
I've seen
fucking
some
Blade Runner is not
Blade
that
Runner.
bad.
Fuck Blade Runner. That movie sucks.
I love Blade Runner.
There was another one that I didn't like. I forget. I fucking hated it.
Wasn't Schindler's List, was it? Because even that was okay.
No, that one wasn't bad. Only because Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's awesome.
I accepted it.
Ralph Fiennes was a great villain. Like,
We're not going to go back to... Stop. We're not going to go back to Schindler's List. Please. Not that dry-ass movie.
let's talk about...
No, Stand By Me was fine.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters
is just a fun movie. You can't... It's hard to beat Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters was a lot more entertaining for me. I would definitely, obviously, rewatch that again.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think, obviously, it's a favorite, but...
Still fun. Can't go wrong. I'm actually excited. So Ghostbusters, there's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out, actually. It was supposed to come out last summer, but the pandemic and all that, so it's supposed to be coming out this summer. I don't know when, but...
You didn't like the girl version?
It was okay.
I didn't watch it.
Oh,
Was that the one with the subway.
Maybe that was the one with the subway.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because Leslie Jones, works in the subway. I think there's a lot to like about the girl one. I don't know why. There's a fucking running joke where Melissa McCarthy keeps ordering wonton soup, but there's not enough wontons in it, and she keeps yelling at the kid. So then, like, the next time the kid brings one and it's only wonton, it's like full, and she's like, all I want is a normal amount of wontons in my wonton soup. Why is it? I don't know why. I think that's fucking hilarious. And I gotta give, like, it sounds awful saying it out loud. My favorite thing about the all-female Ghostbusters was fucking Chris Hemsworth.
I heard.
As the secretary.
Which
is a shitty thing to say, but he's so fucking funny as, like, the complete idiot. You know what I mean? Like,
the hot idiot.
Yeah, he's, like, not really trying very hard. And he's just, like, I don't know. I think it's hilarious, but everybody's really good in it. Like, all four of the girls are fantastic. Kate McKinnon's awesome. Leslie Jones, fucking...
the one chick, I only ever saw her on... Jimmy Fallon, and she's in that.
Kristen Wiig? She's fantastic.
No, not Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig. I don't remember her name.
Yeah. You're probably talking about Kate McKinnon.
Probably.
The one with the glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I guess Melissa McCarthy has glasses then too, but...
No, I know Melissa McCarthy. And I know who Kristen Wiig is. Bridesmaids.
Yes. So, and that's the thing. I do think there are very cool versions of the characters from this movie. I think... Kristen Wiig was a good Bill Murray, actually, and I think Melissa McCarthy was a good Dan Aykroyd. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, whereas Kate McKinnon was trying to be more weird than, like, I don't know. There's something about Harold Ramis that I really like in Ghostbusters. He's, like, almost, I find Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd are, like, funny, like, naturally funny. So you need somebody who's not the person who's, like, the serious, like, who's like the smart guy, and then you need the fourth person to be the audience stand-in, the one that's like, this is fucking weird, somebody explain this to me. And that was, if I had one complaint about Ghostbusters, they didn't give enough for Ernie Hudson to do. And that's because that's his character. His character is the guy who comes in off the street, he just kind of needs a job, and
just so they explain everything to the audience.
Just something, yeah. And like that would have been a great, and like they kind of do. But, like, if anything, why wouldn't you start the movie from him getting the job? Why not make him the main character? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that he was just thrown in.
Yeah, and it's just like, what's that? I need a job? Come on in. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. Did they put, like, were they asking for more employees? I don't even remember that conversation. Like, I don't know. But, so, and that's my only complaint. Here's the thing. And you could even have it where Ernie Hudson starts, and the first job is... them going to that library. That would make sense. It's like, oh, we got a new, ghost.
Or the hotel.
Or the hotel, which is fantastic. They fucking destroy that hotel room.
Destroyed the hotel.
And then they make the guy pay him like $5,000. It's like, you guys are so shitty. Like,
we can't pay that. Well, I let the ghost back in. No! But they never even got the ghosts in the end. Or are the ghosts gone now because they killed the Stay Puft Marshmallow?
Oh, no, they're all still out there. I think. I'm assuming.
They seriously just released like hundreds of ghosts.
It was the guy. It was the fucking... It was
Mitchell.
The Mitchell.
Which sucks too, because this doesn't suck for them because now they're making all their money again because they have to go fetch these ghosts.
Yeah.
It's pretty smart.
It's
Hire another Mitchell every year. Release 100 ghosts and be like, oops, give me 5 more grand. But now they're more expensive because now they're more known.
We're doing this again. We don't like that. Yeah.
No, because they're more famous and they're more like sought out now.
That's a good point.
So now they're getting more cars and more employees. So now we're $7 grand.
But I am sorry. So going back to what I was saying, I'm excited for this new Ghostbusters movie, and it's a sequel to like these ones. So it's like, but it takes place decades later, and it's like kids taking over for like the Ghostbusters, right? The reason why I'm so excited for it is so these movies are directed by Ivan Reitman. He's a big director. He directed like Stripes and a couple of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, stuff like that. But his son is directing the new one, and I really like that. His son is actually, in my personal opinion, a bigger director than he was. He directed things like Thank You for Smoking, Juno, directed Up in the Air, like some really, really fucking good movies.
Well, okay, I don't even think everyone knows what Thank You for Smoking is. Juno for sure.
Yeah.
I love Thank You for Smoking.
Thank You for Smoking
That was such
is-
a brilliant movie.
It's an amazing movie that nobody really talks about.
Nobody has ever seen. I own it.
Yeah.
I don't even own movies.
And I almost put it on the list, but it's almost too like not well known. It's like I almost threw it on there, but
It doesn't even match with anything else of its kind.
it's true. It's so
That was
original.
the first time I ever seen Two-Face.
And that was his first movie. Like
Yeah.
that was Jason. No, that was Jason Reitman's first movie. Like his son.
What about Two-Face? Was he
He was
Two-Face
probably
before?
he was probably in some other shit, but like that was the first thing I ever like recognized him in. Like
Yeah.
anything that came after that, I was like, oh, that's the guy from Thank You for Smoking. Like
Yeah, the kid too. The kid was famous.
he's famous for a bit there too. But yeah, so I'm really excited for Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman, to take over and then
His son filmed Thank You for Smoking in Juno.
yes.
Okay, this is gonna be good.
Exactly. So it's
Is
gonna
it
be
gonna be? See, but Thank You for Smoking isn't comedic.
no, but Juno's pretty comedic.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
What angle is he gonna take? From
I think
Ghostbusters?
it's pretty. It's a lot like the original Ghostbusters.
I love Michael
think so.
Cera and Juno. He's so awkward.
Oh,
I love it. His
I think-
little thumbtacks. Is that what they're called? Thumbtacks.
Oh, Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Love that.
But I'm excited. But it's actually funny because I listened to an interview with Jason Reitman probably like a year ago. They were talking about the new Ghostbusters movie, and they're like, oh, so like he had I want to say 2 movies come out a year or 2 ago, and nobody saw either of them. It was like one of those things, yeah. And they're like, how do you feel about the fact that you're filming Ghostbusters? That's so fucking awesome. And he's like, you want to hear some honesty? I'm super bummed about it.
No.
And they're like, what? Why? And he's like, this was my punch the glass and pull this lever if you have no other choice. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're at a part in your career where you're like, my next movie has to be the biggest hit or I'm fucked, you make the Ghostbusters sequel because you're Ivan Reitman's son. And he's like, and it's so shitty that I have to pull that lever. He's like, I made 2 movies, I made no fucking money. Because
Juno didn't.
so, okay, no. His first 3 movies made a shitload of money.
Okay.
So, like, Thank You for Smoking, Juno, Up in the Air. Spectacular movies. And then he did probably another 3 or 4 movies that nobody's ever seen. He did a movie called Labor Day. Bet you never heard of it.
Oh, I definitely not.
He did a movie called Men, Women, and Children with, like, Adam Sandler and stuff. No one's ever seen it. I've never even seen it. That's how fucking... Yeah.
He has over 1,000 movies behind him. He owns. I've never seen it.
He did it. And then in 1 year, he did a movie called Tully, which was very good, actually, with Charlize Theron. Charlize? Doesn't matter. And very, very good fucking movie that a lot of people didn't see. And then a movie called The Front Runner with Hugh Jackman. Again, big movies.
So he has big actors.
Yeah,
just
but like
not good movies.
they're fine movies. They're okay, but it's just nobody's going to see them. So the fact that he has to do this,
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World should have been fucking huge, and
yeah,
it wasn't.
that was unfortunately not a Jason Reitman movie.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
It's true.
There are some movies that have the right actors and the right,
It's true.
the right form.
But there are a lot of movies that are like that, right? That are like
Right.
the cast is amazing.
And it
And
just
like
doesn't,
it's a fucking really good story, but like just for some reason it's not advertised
It just
correctly,
doesn't-
or
right,
it's just
punch
not.
well.
Yeah, like so.
So is he pulling the line that I'm his son? Or
Yes.
is he pulling the line of this is Ghostbusters?
I'm his son, so it's like that's the thing. It's like hey, the son of the original director is going to direct the sons of the Ghostbusters are taking over, and that's the joke kind of, or like the. And I'm super for it because I think his movies are amazing. I want him to keep fucking making movies.
So here's the thing, though, is with my business, I never accepted money from my parents or from my friends or nobody. It's just my money.
Yeah.
If this goes super famous, he won't feel as good about it as he would if he just shut his mouth and did it.
Yeah, probably.
It sucks that he has to promote, oh, he's my dad, and it sucks because now it's going to go worldwide famous and his dad's going to be like, you're fucking welcome at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
And it
That's
sucks.
good. I mean, you could probably say that anyway, it's very possible that he got it. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? It's very possible.
I didn't even know who he was, so...
It's very possible that he got his first movie just on merit. It's very possible. But I mean, it's also very possible that he was like, hey, Ivan Reitman's my dad. Like,
all right,
what's
so,
up?
okay, hold on. Let's just do the math really quick. I'm not, obviously, I thought I was a movie person until I saw this list, okay? all of his dad's movies I have never seen.
Okay.
But yet, all 3 of his son's movies I have seen.
But they're also newer. And they kind of were at a time where you started watching, like, not watching movies, but like...
Isn't that funny, though, where
Yeah.
it's like, you are saying, oh, he rode the back on his dad's success anyways. And
It's
I'm
true.
thinking, no, because I own Juno in my collection of 30 movies. I
Yeah.
own Thank You for Smoking and Juno.
And they're both fucking awesome movies.
Because I got told I always look like Ellen Page.
Yeah.
I always told that when I was younger. But yeah, so it's just, I don't think he rides in his dad's success as much as he thinks. Obviously, he did to you, but not to me.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that he has to take that. I wish he didn't have to. Especially for someone who was big and fell off. That sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we see actors do it all the time, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you're not acting in anything.
I always respect the actor, like the actor or the director or writer who, like, after they're famous, they're like, oh, by the way, I'm so and so's son, and you're like, what the fuck? I always thought that about there's a director by the name of Duncan Jones, and he directed a movie called Moon, which is one of the best sci-fi movies you'll ever watch. It's fucking spectacular. He directed Moon. He directed Source Code, which it was okay, and then he directed the Warcraft movie, which was pretty good. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen them, but okay.
And then he directed a movie called Mute, which fucking sucked. Don't watch it. And it's, you know what sucked the most about it was I was so excited to watch it. I was looking forward to it for so long. It's a semi-sequel to Moon, and I was so excited, and it just didn't live up. But anyway, I don't want to shit on movies. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not here to shit on movies. So, but anyway.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, it's true. We're here,
to show the movies on the list.
I like to recommend movies. I like to tell people why they're good.
Thank You for Smoking.
I'm not the biggest fan of shitting on movies, but Mute is not very good. Anyway, but the guy, Duncan Jones, is David Bowie's son.
No way.
But it's one of those things where it's like,
that's
what
cool.
the fuck? Like, it's just, I love stuff like that.
I didn't know James Franco's brother.
Was Dave Franco?
Yeah, until, like, they don't look anything alike. And then I saw them together, and I was like, oh. So there are some, like, actors who I didn't even know they were brother. There's a lot of them. I didn't even know we're brothers and sisters.
There's a couple. Actually, another one that's big is, and it's only because she's kind of big right now, is Beanie Feldstein. You know who that is?
No.
Do you watch Booksmart?
No.
Oh.
Sorry. That conversation went
Okay. Anyway, well, for people fucking watching who know Beanie Feldstein, she's only on the cover of like a shitload of magazines and stuff. She's Jonah Hill's sister. But like, no.
Jonah Hill?
Yeah, but
no,
like.
I didn't even know he had a sister.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that either. I didn't even know that until I like listened to an interview with her, and she kept talking about her brother Jonah, like I'm supposed to know who the fuck that is, kind of thing. I was like, okay, yeah. And then somebody was like, oh, by the way, that's Jonah Hill. You're talking about. And I think the question was like, why didn't you use the last name Hill like your brother? And I think that's where.
Why didn't she?
I can't remember. It was like I think it's her like. There's a reason why.
Well.
I just don't remember what it was.
So I'm wondering if it's like divorced parents kind of way. Or...
No, I want to say her last name. I want to say her name isn't either Beanie or Feldstein. I want to say. I could be wrong. I'm not going to fucking say. But
yeah, the other one is which I don't know if he's an actor. Please don't like quote me, but Chris Evans. He has a brother who's always on TV, and I don't know if it's because they get along and they're funny together, or is his brother somebody?
No, I see it. So you're talking about Captain America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's who I said, right? Chris
Yeah,
Evans?
Chris Evans. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just clarifying Captain America. Yeah.
I'm like, wait, did I get the right name?
No, but it's funny because I've seen these two, like with him and his brother, and he just like shits on his brother so much.
But they're on. I've seen them multiple times on.
I don't think his brother's anything.
Honestly, I would bring you on TV just because, like, personally, I think you're funny. So I'm just like, but I'm wondering if I thought. The man is hot as fuck, so I thought maybe he was a Hollywood heartthrob.
Yeah.
But there are some actors, so it just makes me sad that he has to go on his dad's success, you know? And,
yeah.
I mean, and I'm really excited. That's a funny thing. Like, I love the idea that the father did this, so he's going to do this. I mean, he's never going to own up to his father.
No.
The original is always the best.
It's really good. I really like Ghostbusters.
I'm really excited for it.
Really
that should be a lot of fun.
I'm really happy we watched Ghostbusters today. It was fun.
Yeah, we watched it today.
It was good.
Yeah, I had a little movie time here. I never watch movies with him because I want to see, like, I don't want to know when you laugh or when, you know.
I'm really bad for chuckling during movies. So,
but that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want you to be like, oh, she's not laughing, so she hates it. I don't want to feel that energy from each other until we're in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Like, what you guys won't know is we won't talk about anything about the movie until we sit down.
Yeah, on purpose.
So,
yeah.
like, now that I know, oh, he enjoyed it because he's laughing, you know, and
Yeah,
so. But anyways, that was really fun that I watched it here.
that's good.
Yeah, that movie was, the graphics sucked ass. So I thought the new one is better.
All right. So Stand By Me. You know what? I personally like you, and I mean, apparently I really like Rob Reiner movies. I didn't realize that.
Are there any more on the list?
I don't even fucking know. That's the thing. Like, apparently he's directed. Like, if I were, so I made the list pretty much. Anything that I don't know what the director is, it's probably fucking Rob Reiner. I didn't even know. Like,
all right, so he's on another 100 more movies.
Either way,
But Ghostbusters, you carry on and Stand By Me. I might watch you again one day, but definitely ain't tonight or tomorrow.
You're in the fucking trap. Stand By Me, that little
you're-
toaster trap.
You're down there, buddy.
Yeah, stuck with the Slimers of the world.
Yeah.
All right, we're out.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.